sensitive.
Okay.
But other than that, man, that's about it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Yeah. So why are you 2 minutes late?
So they're doing construction on Magazine, and we just found out for 3 more months. I've never seen anyone working on Magazine on the street, but it has really caused a lot of detours through side streets, bumpy side streets, which is not good for my low to the ground 16-year-old car. But yeah, it also causes issues when I'm trying to get home quickly. I need to use the restroom.
Gotcha.
I have to take all the back streets.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I saw your interview or talk with Nate. I really enjoyed what you did there. A lot of the stuff you said on there. And
Fix your mic so it's at least a little closer to you. So
Yeah.
you can move that little table too if you need to. Yeah, I've got it to where you can makeshift it.
I'm really impressed with your setup here.
But this whole thing moves. So like you're too far away from the fucking microphone. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Mic check. Cool. So when do you work? When do you sell houses and all that fun stuff?
I sell houses in between, honestly.
Yeah.
It's a hustle, man. I'm a man of many hats. I wear many hats.
I know.
Wear many hats.
But no, what I was saying with I guess what I saw from your clips and some things with you and Nate talking, I thought it was just really cool. One thing this morning, I hate waking up and just immediately scrolling, but you randomly popped up. The aggregation just came right to me. And
love that. Yeah. Love that. The algorithm called my name.
The algorithm called your name. And what you were talking about was 1% better and being 1% better every day. And that goal of something, I was like, that's just something I think everyone really should strive to be 1% better. And you said, being down on yourself for things like that. It's so easy to get caught up in those things, those failures, those, you don't succeed in the goal that you're trying to go for, something you want to do. That just really resonated with me just because, I think we're all human and we all think about, just the goals that we set for ourselves. Some people don't even set any goals, but 1% better is such an easy little, thing to strive for every day. And that's something that I was hesitant to come join you, sit here and chat and you're,
what, a little intimidated?
Yeah, well, it is kind of intimidating to sit in a little room and just chat with you. Obviously, we've chatted before and without a mic in my face, but
yeah, you need to actually have the mic in your face though.
Yeah,
like you don't need to lean forward, dude. Oh God, you're such. Move it over. Get a little closer. Okay. Whatever you need to do. Okay, so that it's closer. Just don't lean your face in, but just so that it's in your vicinity because the air condition is the problem.
This is better. Now I'm in a comfortable spot.
I love that. Good.
Because the chair was a little...
Yeah. Okay. So here with Ryan Sotolongo, I guess tell me a little bit about where you come from, where your business journey started to where you are now.
Wow.
It's usually long.
Yeah, that's good. I started in the blood banking world. I actually had the opportunity to move down to Miami, Florida. Mm-hmm. I started in donor services, so I was helping set up blood drives and collections for our blood mobiles and our blood collection teams. It's where I started. I got the opportunity to live in Miami. I was there for about 8 years. Loved every bit of it. Miss the food, music, culture. And also it's an 1.5-hour flight back and forth to New Orleans. So I came back and saw my family quite a bit.
Yeah. Got to visit you one time.
You did. Yeah. I remember that time. That's for another chat.
Yep.
But no, so I started in blood banking. I, was pretty green. Setting up collection drives. I love talking to people. I think that's something that I'm very, very gifted at. Connecting, engaging. So I was calling churches, grocery stores, anywhere I could think of, schools, trying to find places to do blood drives. From there, about 2 years in there, I moved into hospital services. So I was helping provide these blood products that we collected to hospitals and other blood centers around the country. Got to meet hospital lab folks. I traveled around, got to go to conferences everywhere from Montreal, Quebec to the West Coast, and set up a booth and got to interact with the blood banking industry, which was something I think that's where I really found my niche of what I love doing, which was connecting with people. Moving blood products was interesting. I had no medical background, just got to learn, on the cuff and just moved in. There was a position that opened up in my last 3 years when I was there for quality assurance, which is even more technical. And, a lot of people go to school for an extra three years or so to become a med tech, a specialist in blood banking. And I was fortunate enough just to be around great people that taught me, everything that I know.
This is
today.
when you had the new technological machine that you had to go around and try to.
No, so that opportunity came about from meeting someone at a conference that I was working, and he was one of my vendors. One of the devices that we use to collect whole blood, and they just snagged a deal with the American Red Cross. So there was an opportunity. He called me. We chatted up a little bit, but he was like, "Hey, I think you'd be great for this opportunity," and he poached me to that company. And from there, I was traveling around the country working with, they had about 80% market share at the time. So it started as a training and implementation role strictly for the American Red Cross. And I was going to different places in the Northeast, traveling every week, getting to interact with people and teach them how to use a great device on how to safely collect blood from a donor. That was probably one of the best gigs I've had in my life because I was so fortunate to be able to see so much of the country that I otherwise wouldn't have been able to see.
You were playing a lot of golf back then too, weren't you? You were playing like a lot of new courses where you would travel.
Yeah, well, statute of limitations. I guess they can't do anything to me. I don't work for them anymore.
That's right.
Yeah. But I would have a training early in the morning, and in the afternoon, that when it was a small training. So the afternoon, I could either sit on my computer or I'd go to a golf course and play 9 holes just quickly and jump in somewhere. But I got to play a couple nice courses.
I think you're about to knock my poster off the wall.
Am I? God, I was leaning back on it.
Scoot up just a little bit, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, this chair's a little. Oh, that's better. Now it's below the poster.
There you go.
But so that company I was with for 3 years, it started as a training implementation role, going around training donor service technicians who are collecting whole blood, how to use the device, and it turned into an account management role. So my counterpart was on the West Coast. I was basically on the East Coast. I got to basically do a little account management, making sure everyone is training. They're traveling around, training, implementation, rolling out for the Red Cross was a great experience. I got to see a lot of the country I wouldn't have otherwise. And then, from there, I have been in for the past 2.5 years.
Well, hang on. Let's backtrack. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when you were working at the blood bank, you had like a lot of good ideas and a lot of things that you were trying to implement and get your bosses to be on board with that was not coming to fruition, right? Like the people, it was almost like one in one ear out the other.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, I know where you're going here. I think specifically for the blood bank, we brought in a new medical director at the time, and the medical director is essentially, his name is on the license. So that person, it makes sense that they want everything to be clean, and obviously in that world it is. But, certain things coming from a big blood center where he came from into our blood center, we were very small at the time.
Yeah.
He had all these ideas and grand things of how he wants to implement and be like this other giant organization. And to go from here to where we were to there was not, a quick snap of the fingers.
No, a lot of changes need to be implemented.
Yes, changes. And specifically when you're dealing with a regulatory body like the FDA, that is something that is, everything you do has to be submitted to the FDA, any kind of changes, things like that. So it is a heavy lift. Not to say that we didn't want to get there, but one of the biggest things we did with my time in Miami at USBB was implement an electronic blood banking system. So we were a manual system at the time, which is how all blood centers used to do it forever ago. It's wild. And now with computer systems, everything from that donor who goes through and submits their name, their info, you go through a questionnaire before you can donate. All of that data is electronically submitted. So you have an electronic record. We had file cabinets upon file cabinets of physical donor records that, and let's say somebody 5 years later has a reaction and they find out that blood came from someone 5 years ago, they have to physically go find this file, this donor form, scan it, send it off to the medical director, has to sign something. They send it off to that hospital wherever the patient received that blood product. It was just...
And the person's dead by the time it goes.
No. No, right. But no, typically it's just for like a minor reaction. They could have some kind of reaction at the venipuncture site where they're getting that blood transfusion.
Right.
And, something minor. It was never something like that. But that obviously happened, what you just said, and we laughed about it. That definitely happened back in the day.
Well, it's like Social Security, right? Didn't they find that all those Social Security files were in like some cave with like thousands and thousands of like file cabinets.
A dumpster,
And
a landfill.
Elon's like, what the hell is this? This needs to be digital. Like, this is people's social security. But like, I think a lot of people don't understand that so many technological advances that are happening right now, like you said, they're not done overnight. Like, these places need to upgrade, but that takes time.
The blood banking world was incredible. My opportunity down in Miami gave me the network where I met someone who, I engaged with, and he really liked me. He was a vendor of mine at the time, poached me to my next opportunity to travel around and do training, implementation, account management, get to travel all over the country, which I truly loved. And from there, the past 2.5 years, I have found another industry. I've just completely changed everything, and I jumped into outside sales. And I hate that word sales because as well as I do, you're never selling a product or a service. You're selling yourself.
100%.
It's a relationship
100%.
and people have to trust you. And I work with restaurants and bars, hospitality now. I do software. I rep a great product called Spot On. But I work locally with a company called Pelican POS. So Pelican POS, the only difference is we are the local guys that you call when something happens. And in technology, something inevitably always happens. I don't care what system you're using, Clover, Square.
And this is for the people who are listening. This is all the systems that are in restaurants that they use behind the bar, that the servers use to put in the stuff, goes to the kitchen,
Correct.
gets the food.
Printers, tech, there's
credit card runners, all that stuff.
All that fun stuff. And yeah, at the end of the day, all those companies are in that for the same reason. It's your credit card processing. Credit card processing is a necessary...
Credit card processing tax.
Yes, it is a necessary evil, and I can't stand that part of the industry because a lot of people focus on it, and I get that data aggregated to me all the time. It is save money on your processing fees, save XYZ. We can eliminate your processing fees, and it annoys the crap out of me because what your software should do is help you boost revenue. It should help you make your life easier. You want to partner because running a restaurant's hard. The margins are so slim.
Oh, yeah. I had Scott on here last week. He's telling me all about it.
Oh, Scott. I love Scott. So it really is so slim. And even someone like Scott, who has had his business, he's had Katie's for
a long time.
A long time. Honestly, he used to live upstairs. But what he does so well is he is constantly engaging with his audience.
100%. That's what he loves to do more than anything.
He has an incredible team behind him. Let's not forget that. But Scott truly does go down and he asks guests. He says, how was everything? He shakes hands. He comes around. He smiles. He chops it up with everyone.
And he said this when he was on here. He's like, I want people to text me if something was wrong.
Yep.
Like, I want you to text me if something's wrong so that I can make sure that you come back and I'm personally there to make sure that everything is as good as it's going to be.
Yep.
Because that's the only way you can get better.
True. And what's really funny, you said that, funny segue, is Scott, I'm helping one of my friends, he owns Fury's down on Martin Berman, great restaurant. You should absolutely check it out.
It is good.
Fury's is great. But Scott, I heard that him and one of his friends, they went and ate there. My staff told me when I was there, I'm just helping manage for a little while. And I text Scott and I said, hey, I heard you came by and had lunch. How was everything? I asked him. He did not have to respond. He did not have to say anything. He sent me back a big paragraph of, pros and cons, like a couple things, feedback, and he didn't have to do that. But he literally sat down and wrote a detailed thing out to me. I relayed all this to the kitchen.
That's just
to my
the type
staff.
of person he is.
Truly is, man. And that was something really cool. And he's very loyal to people he trusts. And that's a great getting back to where I'm at. When I first started in this industry, I was like, oh, moving back home, I can come back to New Orleans. I can, be that hometown hero. I can help restaurants. I really believe in the product. I believe in, we didn't have a big market share here. Yeah. Like I had maybe 2 restaurants that some guy sold out in Slidell. And I had 2 people to name drop. And when I came into places, I was pulling doors. I would go try and meet someone, find a decision maker, do some observations, see some things where I can possibly influence them and help, show them a better way of doing things. But change is hard. I think when I first came in, I was like, oh, well, you could do this, features and benefits. Like, this is the product. Here's what it can do. Instead of this, you can do this with our product. That was the completely wrong way to go about it. Instead of going in like we started this.
You were acting like a salesman.
Yeah, correct. A product or a service.
You were acting like, I guess, for lack of better words, like we're not in the sales business. We're really in the relationship business.
Correct. Gaining someone's trust is the most important thing. And that was something that took me, maybe 2-3 months of just pulling doors hard and foot traffic, trying to, get as many names and contacts possible, send emails. Emails never work. You have to be in there. You have to show face. You have to stop in 2 or 3 touches. You have to get someone to trust you that you actually care about their business. And it took a while, but now I finally have people that reach out to me. They call, hey, are you the spot on guy? And that really just took, man, maybe a year of hard work, running around, but also, like you said, I'm not selling anything. Like, how can I help? Was really the lesson that I had to learn. It's not what can I sell, it's how can I help?
And it's such a dramatic difference going from the blood bank where you don't really have to do that at all. And from even the transition after that, where you're teaching all these hospitals and medical practices how to use this machine, to actually now selling a product that you have to convince someone why it's in their best benefit or best interest to have.
Absolutely.
It's a very dramatic shift of careers in order to be able to do something like that.
It was, but I think the baseline skill and something that I've always loved is just dealing with people. I truly believe you can learn something from anyone, and you have to be open to it. There's a lot of people who are very closed off and don't seize that opportunity. But I think everyone comes from somewhere. Everyone has a story. And the secret sauce, I don't want to give it away, but what does everyone love talking about? It's themselves. So that's my secret sauce is you get people talking. And even it was very tough when I was working with lab people, because a lot of people who work in labs and the hospitals, I feel like they're very introverted. They're very, especially laboratories that are doing processing technicians with blood products.
Well, they're working by themselves, running tests most of the day.
Correct. Yeah. And they're just very closed off. And nothing would give me more joy than getting a lab person to come out of their shell. There are a few outliers, but I think it's that was one of my great joys, is when you get somebody talking and engaged is something that I freaking truly love. And it doesn't matter what industry you're in, you're going to have to deal with people unless you're sitting on your computer mining Bitcoin, which
I think that you are the king of breaking the ice. Like
Thank you.
if I ever have any type of networking event I need to go to, like I would love for you to come with me, because I've never seen anyone in my life that can walk up to someone they've never met, immediately get their focus, immediately get them engaged in what you're putting down. And then, you're always like, oh, come meet this person. Like, and it's like you could walk up to any table in the room and do that. You know what I mean? And it's very impressive. I love that aspect.
Yeah, thank you. We're all on this big rock together.
Well, tell me about your mental process that goes through your head the seconds before you see someone and you're like, I want to meet that person.
So it depends, right? I think you can kind of just get a sense of somebody's energy, and I guess that is kind of my mentality on it. Like, you can tell when somebody's just kind of quiet, reserved to themselves.
You can read people very well. You can
read people, yeah. You have to be able to read people, but it's genuine, right? I think there's no underlying, there's no strategy. There's nothing I want out of this person. It's just to engage with somebody. I feel like that's human nature, human instinct. We're all here together, humanity.
Well, not for everyone. Some people are closed off and terrified of opening their mouth to someone that they don't know.
Sure.
And I think that it's like you had to have trained yourself or gone through something in order to be able to be as fluent with it as you are.
Yes. And I think that just made me think of, I think family and how you're raised is something very important. You are where you come from, right? And I feel like my family has always been Thanksgiving, Christmas. We're very close. We all get together. I have an uncle. I have 2 aunts. They all have kids. We all get together. I think from a young age, I was the oldest. I am the oldest. And still, I think that interaction as a child and my family is a huge piece of why I am who I am.
Yeah.
Gave me the opportunity to, sports when I was youth sports, did swim team, basketball. Interaction is so important at a young age for you to, I don't know, social skills.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people, what you said was, there's some people who absolutely are not interested in interacting with you. They probably have to go out in the world and interact with people, and those are the people that get caught on, the phone and are acting.
Phobia, fear of being included.
Okay, phobia. I like that one. All right, fear of being included. Yeah. No, got it. No, my dog's not feeling well. I got to stay home. No, I think interacting with people is one of the joys of life, and I truly believe that you can learn something from anyone. And take those opportunities. There are so many people out there that are hoping someone, says hi to them, or, that interaction.
That could be the perfect mindset shift that somebody needs, is instead of, oh man, I need to go up and talk to this person because I want something from him or something like that. Maybe instead you need to have the mentality of, I wonder what I can learn from this person.
I love that.
That's why I need to engage in this conversation.
Yeah.
Like I know of this person, even if you see someone who's, you'll go to an event and someone will just be like decked out to the nines and you're like, okay, that person's probably important. Like, I want to go talk to that person.
Yeah.
I want to see what that person's about, what they do. It's like, okay, shift that mentality. Like, what can I learn from this person? Maybe, that'll be an easier way for you to break the ice.
Yeah, break the ice. No, and like I said, I've been told no before. So being told no, or someone, kind of being standoffish and not wanting to interact or engage, you definitely encounter those. It's a numbers game.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, in my professional world, trying to interact with someone and influence them to work with me and partner with me, that's a different side. For just general engagement and people, you walking down the street or you walking down the sidewalk and saying hello to someone could make their day 100 times better. Like, they're having a bad day. You have no idea what that person's going through. You don't know.
Everyone is fighting a battle you know nothing about.
Everyone lives in their own bubble, for the most part. And it's nice to get outside your bubble if you can and do good and say something, just hey, how's it going? Even if you don't know this person, just say, hey.
Yeah.
Say, hey. That's just,
hey, I like your shirt.
Yes, a compliment. A compliment goes a long way as well.
That's it.
Yeah, and I think we don't do that enough as a society, and we see, a lot of the bad stuff, but a lot of the good doesn't get caught on camera. Right?
No, small talk's the problem too, right? Like,
Small
hey, how's it going? Oh, it's going good. How are you? Oh, good. That's it. Instead, why don't you say, oh, hey, good to see you. Up to anything exciting lately?
Yeah.
Boom. That's it. Just shift the small talk.
I send random texts. Just
aggravating.
I keep my circle pretty small.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stand social media and all that, and I think because you do tend to, if you're scrolling, and yes, I scroll. I use it for work as well. I prospect. I look around on social media, see what people are doing, restaurants, bars.
We all doom scroll, bro.
But I wish I could get rid of it. I wish I didn't have to have it in my life. And I think we're different. We're the same age, but we grew up before the cell phone. Like, we rode around on our bikes and had to knock on friends' doors, see if they were home. And now you're just so accessible.
Yeah.
And it's tough. I mean, in your industry and mine as well. Like, I hate being available, like, all the time. Like, my phone is in my pocket. It's silenced right now, but there's probably going to be a couple texts or somebody I have to freaking respond to when we get out of here.
Oh, yeah. When I do this, I have to put my phone on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah.
My phone would be ringing like crazy.
Yeah. I saw that this morning when I was texting you. But no, it's true. That's one thing that I miss. And I think we're fortunate enough because we had that experience, that we grew up without the phone. We had a house phone. We had... AOL was our first. We grew up without the internet.
Right. Dial up.
Yeah, dial up. Oh, I can still hear it. But no, we grew up with...
But that was our first introduction into the internet, right? Was like AIM.
AIM,
right?
Instant Messenger.
Like, we had AIM. And I remember I had in fourth grade when they had those big, colorful, fat, round Macs. Those old ones that were like colors.
With the big bat.
And
big
like
bat.
I used to do Mario Teaches Typing. And I used to like jump Mario and I'd have to press... That's how I learned how to type. You know what I mean? But like... Now it's so crazy being in a generation where there was none of that, and now it is what it is today, right? It's very wild, and I'm sure it's even wilder for people who are 20 years older than us, who didn't have anything like that whatsoever. Like, because when we were younger, at least we had a little taste of it, but like they had nothing.
Yeah,
it's crazy being part of that generation.
But honestly, that's a perfect. Coming back to what I do now, I'm dealing with a lot of restaurant owners and bar owners who are 20, 30 years older than I am.
Yeah.
And they are, technologically uninclined.
Right.
They are not aware of tech, and they have been doing things one way for the longest time. They think
they have no interest in learning.
Yeah, no interest. Oh, it's not broken. Why would I want to? And trying to persuade someone to see the value of technology when they've been doing it one way forever is a uphill battle. It really is. And I get it. I understand. And it's similar to what we just talked about is, it was better. Life's been fine. Life's great. But could it be better if I had something else of this century to help me in my business and grow my business? Some people are open to it, and some people are very resistant to it. And some of those opportunities, I've definitely just walked away. I'll check on them every so often, but timing's everything. But man, technology and change is hard for that generation.
Well, but that's where the shift was, right? In the, our parents' generation, it was you go to school, you get a good job, you work and provide for your family, and then you die, right?
Right.
And
Yeah,
then and now in our generation, I mean, I don't know about you, but I know with me, it's always like I can never stop learning something new. Like I feel like no matter what, I'm not ever complacent and or egotistical in thinking that like I know everything about everything. I always want to keep learning. I always want to keep reading. I always want to keep going down rabbit holes and trying to experience what I didn't know or do my own research and compare things that I am not sure about and just because I feel like that's constantly making me a better person. So I could never see myself being in that situation where it's like, hey, this technology or this program or this can make your entrepreneurial life and your business better. And I'm just so complacent in the way that I do things. I'm like, no thanks.
well, and what you just said is I love that, and there are a lot of people, just gonna say, a lot of people keep scrolling and you see, news, you regurgitate this, but you never look into anything. You don't want to have your own opinion, form your opinion about something. A lot of people regurgitate things that they've heard online.
Brainwash.
Yeah, brain rot, doom scroll, brain rot, however you want to say it. It's
Fog brain.
yeah, fog brain. Oh man.
Fog brain's real.
Fog brain? Oh, sure. Yeah.
Super
I get
real.
fog brain, especially when I'm a little burned out of dealing with people. Like, I too get tired of, I like you said, I love people, I love engaging, but I do have a social battery and a battery that just drains very quickly, especially in this industry when you're dealing with people all the time, nonstop. Little things you're like, oh, come on, man, you got this, you can do it. But,
Well, I remember talking with you when you were in between jobs, right before you worked with Spot On.
Yep.
And you were drained because you were like, okay, I'm going to all these interviews. It's just this one was great, but it's actually not something that I want to do. So how did you stay motivated when you were going through that in order to try to get something? Like what was your mindset going through that?
God bless anyone who is looking for a job, and specifically, what do you want to do? Like,
Right.
that was the hardest part when I was trying to find my next role. Was what do I want to do, and what's going to make me happy and excited to wake up every day and go do something. And
If you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
yeah, true, but you still got to pay bills. You got to do all these things. You want to build.
We all do. We're all slaves to the system.
We are slaves to the system, yes. But no, finding a job, I went through a long, it was maybe three months or so, and I was just filling out I was going through the process, applying for jobs that I thought.
Well, you'd always be telling me, you're like, oh, got this interview, got this
Bro.
interview, got this interview.
Yeah, it's so frustrating. And there's that old, not adage, but, every CEO or these major companies, your HR department, you should go through and have to apply for your job. You should have to go through the process and see how freaking frustrating it is. And like I said, God bless anyone.
How interesting would it be if every company was like, every year you have to reapply for your job?
Yeah, no, and at least go through the process. It's, no, I've had one opportunity that I'm excited about. This process has been going on for like 2 months, like the hiring process. And it's just frustrating. Like, I don't know how, if I didn't have these other jobs and things that I'm doing, how would I survive? Like,
Right.
It is people who are literally just trying to apply for a job and benefits, all these other things, a great job. It takes time. And it's, unless you know someone or network appropriately and know someone on the inside that can get you a fast track to that spot, it is so frustrating, man.
Yeah, it is. Well, that's one of the main reasons I wanted to have this conversation with you today is because I know where you came from. I know how you shifted into the industry that you're in now, but I also know that it's not exactly where you want to be, right? So I wanted to have this conversation with you so that maybe you can help someone else push through. You know what I mean? Because that is exactly what you're doing. Like, I know, you're not exactly where you want to be financially right now, right? But
Yeah.
but at the same time, like, you're staying motivated and you're still staying the course and you're still doing what you need to do because what the hell else are you going to do?
Yeah.
But it's like, how do you stay motivated and how do you stay driven in order to achieve these things when it feels like things just keep knocking you down?
Yeah, no, it's tough I'm very fortunate. Like I said, I have 2 contract gigs, one primarily being Spot On and growing that. And that's something I will always do. I love that job.
But this thing you did with Furies, you like manifested that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like you did that.
No, the opportunity came about. My friend, he was going out of the country for a little while. So he was like, hey, do you mind managing the restaurant? I was like, sure. And honestly, I wish I would have done it 2.5 years ago because it's given me so much more credibility that I'm managing a restaurant. I have been in the trenches. Like I go to Restaurant Depot, I go to City Wholesale, and I've also met so many other people organically,
Yep.
which has truly helped me. Those opportunities when you meet somebody like that, as opposed to coming in trying to pitch them, you're getting these people who see you at doing things that they do all the time in the trenches. You are going to Restaurant Depot, which that place gives me so much anxiety. It is a Home Depot full of all the goods that all of your restaurants procure.
But it's all in bulk, like Costco, right?
It is, yeah. But it is obnoxious how big that place is. I order for pickup, and we'll go pick it up. Yeah. But yeah, I've run into so many people there, and it's
opened a lot of doors.
A lot of doors, yeah, for me to go pitch them on Spot On and software and partnering with me on the tech side. I mean, Fury's was actually my second account that I signed. Fury's, they bought it in 2023 from.
What was the first one you signed?
Katie's.
Oh, who helped you do that?
Oh, yeah. You don't want to live that down.
Oh, yeah.
You definitely, the same thing you said about being engaging and breaking ice with someone, you definitely were a factor and an influencer that helped me get that deal done. But yeah, staying positive, like you said, manifesting Furies was something that just came about. And I felt like a lot of that goes back to being someone that, I don't know, every day, just like you were talking about with Nate, I think being 1% better. If you can do something nice for someone, I'm saying, putting out that good energy in the world is something very important to me. I believe in energy. You get what you put out.
100%. 100%.
And yeah, I
firmly believe that I'm empathic. Like, I feel like I can feel your energy from where you're sitting.
Yeah.
And that helps me read people too.
Sure. No, I agree. And no, the Furies opportunity just came about, and I was at a point where I was just kind of getting burned out with the job hunt for my primary, next career move.
Right.
And he called me and he said, hey man, I'm going out of town. I'm gonna be gone for a couple months back and forth. I really need someone to do a couple things at the restaurant and manage. So
did you know this guy before?
So he actually went to University of Southern Mississippi, and he was 2 years older than me. But still, after Katie's, I was at Vessel, NOLA. I was at Vessel. And I was sitting in there and I was on my computer doing some stuff.
The church.
Yeah. I love that spot.
Yeah, the inside is gorgeous.
It is. They do some candlelight.
Stained glass.
Yeah, they do some candlelight. It is an old church they built up. But no, he just walked in and I said, "Are you what?" And he told me about buying the restaurant. And I was like, "Hey, we should talk." And I told him what we did. And since then, that had to be 2 years ago. 2 years ago. And so we've been great friends. He's a great friend of mine.
Smart guy.
Really smart guy. He's actually a trial lawyer out of Dallas. But either way, he's been someone that I've consistently tried to learn from. And that opportunity just came back into my life. Just, like you said, manifested, but right place, right time, timing.
Yeah. The door was open. You walked through it.
Correct. Yeah. And he's been, just someone that I continuously learn from. I'm working on a couple projects with him, but that's helped supplement some of my income.
That dude has a crazy entrepreneurial mindset.
Yeah.
Like idea, run with it. Idea, run with it. Idea, run with it.
Yeah. Off the record, I'll tell you about a couple other things. But he's been someone that has given me a lot of knowledge, and I've learned a lot from him. But yeah, with Furies, helping out there, that has given me so much more credibility in the industry that I'm in with the tech and software side with Spot On and growing Pelican POS.
So what I'm hearing you say is you were working with Spot On, then you were working with the Pelican POS. You worked your way into Furies. You used the connection that you had to open doors that weren't there before, which in turn opened more doors that never would have been opened without you taking the step through the first one.
Yeah. No, 100%. And I think something also with that, and I think it's interesting you said that, because just recently, besides software, POS, restaurants, I love recommending good people as well. So I share resources. I actually had a friend who was looking for a server job, and we just lost a server at Furies. I had them come over, and now he's working with us. It takes no time at all to send a text,
right?
To make the phone call. But to help someone else and refer somebody else that you've done business with before or that you like, that's something that I really like about this industry as well. Is I love sharing good people to good people.
Yeah.
Whether it's an AC guy, a fridge guy, something's bound to happen at the restaurant. I've bringing back Katie's. I called their GM and I was like, hey, we have a freaking fryer that's broken. Do you have a guy that works around? He sent me his number. That guy came out that day and came and helped us. Things like that. Like, we would have had to close that night because for dinner service without a fryer, we would have been out.
Right.
Literally came, helped me that day. Those are the things that I love about this industry. And I will always keep this contract job, I think, just to help others, because I started this fire and I'm going to keep spreading it until Pelican POS has to grow and we need more employees, more staff. As for my next career role, I have a great opportunity right now with the company that I'm hoping to hear back this week. It's been a 2-month process, like I said, and just how frustrating that is of going through the interview process. That's where we started. When you are interviewing and applying for jobs, and then you get that email that says, your qualifications are great, you're awesome, but sorry, we went with somebody else. It's like that stuff really, you can go down a dark hole, because I firmly believe in myself. I know that who I am, what I can do, how I interact with people, I can do anything.
Well, humanity doesn't deal with rejection well in general.
Yep.
So that is, just like getting shot down when you're going to talk to a girl.
Yeah.
Same feelings. Like, what did I do wrong? Why was I not more strongly considered? What could I have done differently? All those things start coming into your brain, and it creates those feelings of negativity and self-doubt.
Yep.
And it's just, those are things that you can't even keep those in, man. You gotta replace those.
Rejection, self-doubt, all those things. Yeah, they're natural feelings, but it's something that, like you said, experience is the best teacher. And yeah, I've been shot down by plenty of girls, but no, in life, you are going to have rejection. Not everything's going to go perfect. To stay the course and continue what you're doing. That's what we started this with. I love that. The 1% better every day. Focus on yourself. Things that you can control. But you get so worked up and bogged down is the other word, with little things that are outside of your control.
Right.
So staying on point with the job hunt, when I'm applying for jobs and you get these kickbacks, like, oh, we went with somebody else, somebody else is more qualified, all this. We'll keep your resume on file. It can be disheartening. It can be discouraging.
You might as well just light that resume on fire, because I know you're never going to look at it again.
Yeah. But no, you really have to, like you said, not focus on that. You applied, you went through the steps, you did all these things. Timing wasn't right. I think timing's everything, and something else is coming along. I'm a firm believer in, what's going to happen is, I don't want to say predestined, because you have to put the work in. You have to do and
action.
Yes, you have to take the action, but what's meant to be is going to happen. And you can't worry and just kind of, stress over all these little things.
Well, worrying's never solved anything in the history of the world.
Let me think about that, but
never.
No, it hasn't. No.
Because the only reason why you worry about something is because it's something that's beyond your control.
Yeah.
If you can control it, you can solve it. But something that's beyond your control is why you worry. And if you give it up to the higher power, the universe or God, whatever you believe in, like, that person's gonna, or that entity, or that whatever it is gonna take care of that for me. I don't need to carry this weight of worry on my shoulders for something that I can't control, because it's gonna resolve its way one way or another. And whatever way that is was destined to be.
Yeah.
So just, why do I need to focus on that? I can just focus on the things that I know I can control, and that's gonna happen however it's going to happen anyway.
No, I love that mentality, and I'm very similar in that way. I believe in, a higher power. There's a reason we're all here. Sure, there's bad in the world, but
what do you believe?
What do I believe?
Yeah, I want to know. Get into it. I want to know exactly. What do you believe is the higher power?
The higher power. The world is too beautiful. The world is too beautiful. Sure, there's a lot of bad things that happen, but there has to be a reason. This is not just a coincidence. Like, there is something that put this all in motion. Whether it be time, I just can't. I don't believe that time is the reason why this all just happened. Like, it can't be, billions of years. This rock has been sitting here, slowly but surely things just happened.
Yeah.
Right. For us to get this complex and us to be able to have free thought and speak to each other like this, what separates us from animals is, a higher power. I think there is absolutely someone. You can say God. Yes, I was born and raised in the Presbyterian Church. I went to Catholic school growing up here in New Orleans. So, the Holy Trinity was beaten into me. But yeah, I think religion instills good values in people, morals, values. And that's something good that came from church religion. But as I got older, I met people that were too high on that pedestal and would try and bring you down, or because you don't go to church or you do this. And
Well, growing up Baptist, that was it.
Yeah.
You would go there and it was strictly fear hell.
Yeah.
Don't go to hell. Fear it.
Yeah.
And that was it. That they struck that fear into you so that you would be a good Christian person.
Yep.
Because of fear.
There's two ways to motivate people. It's the carrot or the stick. And I would prefer the carrot, but the stick is, yes, used more often. But no, I believe that religion is great in the youth, but once you get to a certain age, it's a personal relationship for me. I can't speak.
Well, you do your own digging, right?
Yeah.
You create your own questions. You know, and you know that damn well about me, right? Like, it's like, I have the question. What is the answer, or what is some type of evidence that there is? And I've gone down the rabbit hole so many times trying to find that. And I think the one thing that I can deduce everything that I am 100% sure that is a fact, is that there's not nothing.
Yeah, I agree. There's not nothing. It's not coincidence.
There's not nothing.
It's not a coincidence.
This is something. Okay. So if you start there with that baseline, there's not nothing, there is something. That's where you can kind of be like, okay, what is something?
Yeah, I agree. And no, for me, it has become a personal relationship. And I think how we started here was, what's going to happen is going to happen. I don't want to say it's predestined. You have to take action. But no, there's definitely someone looking out for me. And I believe the same thing with, people we lose, like people who pass on. I believe in a better place. There's somewhere that they go. It's their time. I like that mentality. I think heaven, you get to go meet all the people that, you haven't seen in a while, all the people you've lost. But here on earth, those people live on through us, those experiences, those things that they shared with us. Even, we've lost friends in high school. We've lost, grandparents. We've lost people in our life. And I've always been kind of comfortable with death and people passing because it's their time. They're going to be called to a better place. And that's just my spirituality. Is I believe in, I'll say a God. We'll say God for, and yeah, they're watching over me, and those people who we lost are watching over us as well. So I've always had that mentality with death, and I don't think this could be heaven. Who knows? Maybe this earth is heaven.
This is definitely not heaven.
Yeah, it's not heaven.
But I feel like when you die, you wake up.
But nobody knows, and that's what's scary about it.
I think when you die, you wake up, and it's almost like a dream. You wake up and you're like, okay, that was just a dream. This is who I am. But you're not I don't think you're like a human form, right? I think like when you wake up, but when you wake up, you are just like one with all. Like it's almost like a different plane of existence that's only energy. So like I think that the people that we lose, their spirits are always with us, with who they were in that time and how they influenced us in our life. Because I truly believe that the soul leaves your body and goes into another plane of existence of the energy, and they decide when they want to come back and learn something else.
Okay. I like this. And the fact that there is no wrong answer, right? Nobody knows what happens.
Really knows.
Nobody knows when you die. Nobody knows what happens when you die.
But I know that mediums, because I've met a couple mediums, one in particular that I trust that didn't pay anything to, by the way, who was it was the mom of a girl that I used to date. So like fully trusting. She wasn't getting anything from me. It was just a conversation. And she was talking to me, but talking like behind me. And she wasn't looking at me. And she's like, yeah, I'm talking to your spirits. You have spirits who are with you. And they're telling me about like your past lives. These are ancestors, not from your family lineage, from your soul's lineage in the past, which is mind blowing.
I don't really believe in the median thing. I believe, like I said, energy, spirits, even. I don't know. I'm a little iffy on that too. But as for medians and people being able to communicate with the dead.
There's way too much evidence for all that stuff.
No. You've been watching Ghost Hunters, man.
No, I'm not watching Ghost Hunters. I'm watching like the other stuff. But I mean, yeah, it's crazy today because you can't tell what's real and not with AI anyway. Yeah. So it's like with all the UFO videos, it's like I can't even watch this anymore because my first thought is, how would I make this on the computer? Yeah. Deepfakes, that stuff scares the crap out of me. Super. That's scary. Because typically we just thought, our sitting president, like, that was all deepfake. But no, that's really what he's saying. But yeah, no, some of the other ones like that in the wrong hands, and it's in everybody's hands now. Anyone can take it and do something malicious or positive. That's what scares the hell out of me. First time I ever saw that was on like America's Got Talent. They had people that like had Elvis come up and sing, or they they completely deep faked Simon Cowell in front of Simon Cowell. And it was
like
just
a hologram or
it was just like it was like a face, like they read his face or whatever. They put
Yeah.
it up on the screen and they made him sing like an Elvis song, but like sounded like him, was his face. You couldn't tell that it was digitally
Yeah.
computerized. And I was like, well, we're all dead. Like this is going to be the end of what's real and what's not, and being able to tell the difference from that. And it's so, and remember that movie, what was it? Mountain, with Steve Carell, where they're in the mountain and it's all the millionaires and billionaires that got together.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yes.
they had that one guy that created the AI, but like it was such strong AI that it made the whole world implode because no one could tell what's real and what's not.
Yes.
Like that's,
What's that movie?
it was like Mountain something.
Yeah, it was something Mountain.
Mountainhead.
Mountainhead, nice. We got there.
Plug, Mountainhead.
Mountainhead,
Great movie.
Go
watch it.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, that stuff is terrifying. And I've seen it used for a lot of good. Like a lot of people using, going back to my world with hospitality, I've seen a lot of influencers, people who are doing things for restaurants and who are trying to promote and engage restaurants to be on their minds. I've seen a lot of them use AI the right way. But the scary stuff is thinking about what, political world leaders or even politicians and how that back and forth goes with, because mudslinging, remember that term, how, politicians would put up a video, this guy's bad, this guy's bad.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's exponentially worse.
Well, China puts all of their kids into AI school.
Okay.
Did you know that?
I did not.
That you're required, I don't know the age, but you're required as a Chinese citizen to go and learn about AI, how to do AI, and how to create.
That's slightly worrying. But yeah, like you said, just because China, and I don't want to say China's not bad. I don't want to speak on.
We don't have to get political.
We don't have to get political.
We don't have to get political. I was just saying that it's just like that's where it's going. I guess right. That was kind of the point of it.
Yeah.
That's where it's going.
Don't ignore it.
No,
that's
you
the
can't
other thing.
ignore
You
it.
have to. You have to read about it. Yeah.
You have to embrace it. You have to learn the goods and the bads, how to utilize it yourself.
I use ChatGPT all the time. Like whether it's to learn something, whether it's to brainstorm certain ideas. I've used it for marketing strategies, like little ways of how I want to, connect and engage with people.
Mm-hmm.
Whether I slide in Facebook, Instagram messages, I do DMs all the time, but I'll craft those with a purpose. And yeah, ChatGPT, outside of that, if you're not using it or seeing other tools, there's outside of ChatGPT, there are programs where you can create workflows for certain things. Like we will put together one thing. I want to create a post for this. I can put in it'll go through certain workflows, send me an email. I just review it and then I'll post it. Things like that are ways that it's made my life easier, giving me time back. But like you said, if you're not learning it, if you're not at least trying to stay knowledgeable on the subject, you're going to get left behind.
Right.
If you're not learning about technology and seeing specifically the ways it can help you and give you your time back, because that's, I think, the end goal. And something else I've learned from this industry is business owners and managers, they want their time back. Like that's what I'm trying to give you.
And the owner of Furies, like you were telling me all about his plan, right? Like he's got AI set up so seamlessly to where all he needs from you is pictures.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The social media
so
side.
all you have to do is send him the pictures. He uploads those pictures. He's got it all planned out and timed with what needs to be posted, how it needs to be worded, when it needs to go out, and all he needs is pictures, and he uploads them, and then it's seamless.
Yeah,
and it's automated.
Then to his credit, like search engine optimization specifically in this world is so important. It doesn't matter what industry you're in, but you want to be in those top three.
It's all about them Google rankings, babe.
Danny,
get yourself up there.
It is wild because I had someone come in to pick up a catering order, and I said, just out of curiosity, how'd you find Furies? She said, well, we went and got, some fried seafood from somewhere else. Won't name them. It wasn't very good. And then I Google searched. I said, best fried shrimp, and Furies was the top one. And I was like, I'm going to tell him.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't wait to tell him this story because, all that work that he's doing behind the scenes with SEO and Google AdWords, all these things, that is what it's all about.
Yep.
And that stuff it's been really, really cool to learn more about that firsthand experience with him kind of working on projects like this. But yeah, I like to take this experience and add it, to my skill set as well, being able to help other restaurants in that way. So it's been something that I've tried to pick and choose certain places that I want to help because I like working with places that I like. And that's, I don't go after, some of these big guys because I truly don't like to eat there or
Yeah.
frequent that spot. Like
Yeah.
I like helping the local mom and pop. I like helping restaurants where the owner's actually there. I like that. Like you see the owner, and when I walk in somewhere and they're like, "Oh well, John, never comes. He lives in California." I was like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah. He just calls in every now and then." I was like, "Really?" I was like, "That's awful."
Can't wait to see you on Kitchen Nightmares coming up
Yeah,
soon.
correct.
I can't
Man.
wait till Gordon Ramsay busts in there.
I was downtown, man.
So are you reading any books?
Ooh, books. No. So I have instead of doom scrolling and Instagram, which all that, which yes, I still do. I've been using
We all do it.
yeah, I use an alternative. It's called Flipboard. That's one I really like.
What is Flipboard?
Flipboard. It's kind of like Instagram for learning, I guess. But yeah, Flipboard's a good one. It's essentially like news articles, and you just flip up, and you can find certain topics and things you want to follow. But then you can open these articles, but it's just kind of a quicker way to scroll
to get
things.
News and information
Yeah,
rather
news
than
information, as opposed to I think my girlfriend and I are a little different in that regard. Like the morning routine, set the alarm, wake up at 7.
Oh my
But
God, we had this conversation Sunday.
yeah, we did. But the first thing is like, she wake up, she scrolls. I wake up, I'll go freaking make breakfast, I'll make coffee, I'll freaking sit down, I'll read on my computer, stuff like that. And as opposed, I've tried really hard until, I've tried to stay on this. So this is what I've been reading. I haven't really been reading a lot of books, but trying to stay restaurant news, tech news, local New Orleans news, obviously. Yeah, and also fun thing about Flipboard is, and if you don't have $12 to pay NOLA.com to read articles, you can, it bypasses that, by the way.
That's great.
NOLA, yeah.
That's great.
Don't.
As much as I want to invest in the city, come on, bro. Just let me read my own news about my own city.
I literally looked at ways. I was like, how can I stop this pop-up from popping up? And it was like, well, you have to do this way. And I was like, all right.
Well, and then you try to X out of it and then open it real quick.
Yeah,
Let's go back up.
Yeah, I'm trying to get somebody's name. I'm trying to.
It's like, oh, I wanted to see that part.
Nah, look, support NOLA, but
yeah, we do, but at the same time, NOLA fucks us a lot.
Yeah.
So we got to get around how we can. Okay. So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years.
Yeah, I know the last couple of years have been a little rough, but it seems like things are on the up and up. You got a good head on your shoulders. So where would you like your life to be in 5 years? Where do you see yourself?
Thank you. No, I love this question. I think you should always set, a year, 6 months, a year, 5-year, 10-year goals. I am not sure where I want to be in 5 years physically. Health and activity, healthy is a good, I want to be healthy. I want to have the right career. I'm looking to be a part of a great company is what I'm looking for now. I think once I have that steady, because commission only has really been a really tough thing. I think doing doing commission only is really tough. But yeah, I'm excited about a few opportunities, a few irons I have in the fire. But as far as 5 years from now, I would love to possibly get a house. I would love to have a house out here. All my family's still here, so that's one of the reasons I am here. But I'd love to possibly move somewhere, maybe a little further north with some scenery, some trails, some hiking. New Orleans has been a great home base, and all my friends and family are still here. And I think we've talked about this before, but I went to school in Hattiesburg, Mississippi at Southern Miss, and there were so many people that I met that were from, Meridian, and then they came to Southern Miss, and like, this is the big time, and I can't wait to go back to Meridian and work at my dad's tire shop or whatever. And nothing wrong with those, nothing wrong with that 5-year plan. But if you've never seen outside of what how do you appreciate anything? And that's something that I was very fortunate enough that I've traveled and gotten to see a lot of things. And New Orleans will always be home. I love this city, everything it's given to me, the relationships, everything I've made. But I want to possibly move a little further north, somewhere. I love the Carolinas. I love the Northeast.
Asheville is gorgeous.
Yeah, Asheville is gorgeous. I do miss Asheville. I did a little time there.
We went to the Smoky Mountains. Me and the fam went to Smoky Mountains not too long ago. And when I say we had a blast, it was not expensive. And everything was outside. And everything was so beautiful.
Something we don't have
mountains
here.
And the trails and And they have all these, like they have a place called Rock City that's like literally lined with lights, and it overlooks all this stuff. And they have all these caves you can go through, and it's just so beautiful. And it's like, yeah, those places exist. Like, yeah, New Orleans is its own
Nowhere like it. It
bubble.
is
Okay.
nowhere like it. It will always have my
It's its
heart.
own. There's no other place like it. Everyone will tell you the same thing. Like, the people are great, the city is great, but there is more out there. There is more.
Yeah, no, and I like I said, that was something that blew my mind was, when I met that person, and nothing wrong with that person, but I was like, you've never been outside the state of Mississippi? Like Louisiana's like an hour and a half that way. Alabama's right there. You can go north if you like, but still just fine living in your own bubble. And I think that's something, and at least for me, is I always want more. I want to see more. I want to learn more, continuously learn more.
Yeah.
That's something that that's really important to me.
Well, you can't stop learning. Like, you cannot get complacent. You cannot be, the second you're comfortable is the second that you die, in my opinion. Like, whether it's, physically or mentally, but like when you're comfortable, you're just coasting.
Yeah.
Okay. And I've said this time and time and time again, probably in each of the podcasts that I've done already.
Yeah, but it's also that mentality of wanting to learn things, right? There are people who are just stuck in that pattern. And like going back to Miami, I mean, I worked a 9 to 5 for 8 years, like 9 to 5. And that just sitting at a desk, fortunately for me, it wasn't like repetitious tasks, but there are people that just perfectly fine doing the same task, whether it's changing a tire, it's freaking, and not belittling anybody in that industry because there's some great people in that industry too.
No, but you're mainly speaking to the people who feel stuck and feel like there's no out, right?
Yes,
like they're working in a job that is a dead end job. There's no room for growth. You're stuck there, or you feel like you're stuck there. But in reality, you're the only person holding yourself hostage there.
Yeah, if you're not happy with something, change it.
I mean, the fly, there's the fly flying into the window constantly. It's a closed window, but the door's open behind it. But it's killing itself, flying into the window over and over and over again. Fucking doors open behind you. Just fly out the door. Pivot. Go a different direction. Like, we're only here. Our soul is only in this meat suit once. Okay?
Yep.
And so you got to make the best of it. And if you feel like you're stuck in some type of career that you don't enjoy, like, take a risk.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you have to provide for your family, so do what you need to do. But at the end of the day, like, start taking the steps when you have time off of that job to start planting the seeds to do something that you'd enjoy. Your family will thank you for doing that.
Yeah. You have to understand and figure out what you like, what's important to you, what you're interested in. And like I said, when I came from the blood world to training account management and with other blood centers, and then coming back here, when I was looking for a new job, it was like, what's going to make me happy?
Right.
What am I going to be excited to do? Because I want to be excited to wake up.
But so many people don't even have that answer.
Yeah.
And, it's like, what do I want to do? What's going to make me happy? I don't know.
Yeah. And this was the first time before I joined the hospitality software tech side. That was the first time that I'd ever actually looked for a job outside of, because everything just kind of fell into place, right? It was the blood bank, going to, the medical device company. And then when I came back to New Orleans, I was like, oh man, what do I want to do?
Right.
And that's the toughest thing for, I think, everyone. But for me personally, I was like, I have all these skills. I love interacting with people. There's something that, what am I going to be interested in that's going to make me happy?
Right.
And I was fortunate enough, the spot on role in software and tech, coming back home to work with restaurants and bars, being out in the field, getting to meet people. I love that aspect of this job. But yeah, now looking for something, it's the same dilemma I'm in, is I'm looking for my next role, but I want to be with a great company. I want to work with great people. I still want to believe in the product or service that I'm providing, offering. That is something that is really tough. But to your point, when you're going to risk something, like, you have to have, I can't imagine if I had zero income right now.
Well, yeah.
And that's, a lot of people are in that same boat. You get let go, whatever happens, and then you're just applying for a bunch of jobs and you're just playing the waiting game. Like, that is really tough. And I feel for anybody in that position. But
everyone knows people, right?
Yeah.
Everyone knows people. And I feel like people who are just sitting around and applying for jobs online and not going out and actively trying to open those doors on their own, you're not really going to see any true change there.
And that risk, what you just said, goes back to the point of rejection. Like if you walk in somewhere and oh, hey, are you guys hiring? Things like that. A lot of people are afraid to do that because of the possibility of being rejected.
Right.
And that's something you just mentally have to get over, because what you said earlier, these doors open, you have to manifest them.
That's right.
I like how you use that word, but if there's no action, you're not going to get the outcome.
No, you're not.
That's the point. No action.
I can look back and there's a bunch of times where I see that the door was open for me and I chose not to walk through the door.
Yeah.
And to this day, I'm like, man, probably should have gone to talk to that person a little more. Probably should have followed up with this situation a little more. And it's regret, and it's unfortunate, but a lot of people do that because a lot of people just don't want to take the leap of faith.
And you say that part about regret, but I always look at it as it's an experience. It's a learning experience, right? You have to learn from those.
Fail forward,
I like that too. But yeah, you have to make these mistakes in order to be better, to become better, to learn and grow. Same thing with, I think, past relationships, right? Like that's, my girlfriend does not like this joke, but I've never dated anyone before her. But I had to learn from those previous relationships what I want and didn't want out of a relationship, and that's what made me where I am today. And I think our relationship now is pretty strong. But without all of the mistakes that I've made in the past, without the learning experiences that I've had, I've come to turn them into learning experiences to make me better and me a better partner, as well as how I want to treat someone and how I want to be treated. I think that's, same in any other life scenario, right? You have to go through these experiences. You have to fail forward. I really like that. But yeah, without it, you're never going to grow.
No, like I said, meat suits on this earth only one time. And you learn what you can learn until your soul goes to another plane and comes back and learns something new again. I think that's really what the true definition of nirvana and enlightenment really is. It's like, these monks that you see who have been in a state of meditation for 2 years straight have probably been on this earth at many, many, many times. And they're just like, okay, I've learned everything there is to learn. Like I'm just in this state of just pure zen, and that's all I need.
You made that point earlier, and it made me think of Neil deGrasse Tyson. And he did a intro, or he narrated an album for Logic, and it's called Everybody. Great album, recommend it. But it's essentially what you're saying is, this guy, he dies, but when you die, you come back. Like that's what life is you come back as every single person, and you go through everyone's experiences. Like you live everyone's life.
Interesting.
So yeah, that was kind of the thought was, you live as everybody until you have this one shared experience of everyone's, experiences. And it was something kind of profound, but, what you're saying about the monk who's lives, different lives and millions of lives, you've already understood everything. And now you're just kind of, in a state of nirvana, right? And that's kind of the goal, is to, I don't know, to understand, I think that's what we all seek, or at least I hope what I seek for myself is you want understanding. You want to, I don't know, you just want to learn. And I feel like that goes back to our point of continuous learning is there is so much information and so much noise out there to filter through it and actually still stay true to who you are and your beliefs, what you believe, your morals, your values, how you treat other people. That's so important in all the noise.
Well, we've come to a point now, I feel like in society and in the reality where we currently live in 2025 right now, where people are no longer understanding the difference between right and wrong.
Yeah.
It's very sad to see where, that certain beliefs or certain opinions can take people down such dark paths, and to the point where you forget what is actually right and what is actually wrong. Like there's good, there's evil, there's right, there's wrong. Those are two opposites that we can never deny. And like those are just foundational laws of society. And people are starting to slowly forget where that line is. And it's unfortunate because a lot of people just don't get it, and they just follow the sheep. And
no, you're right. And I think sadly, a lot of it is monetized now, right? Like people who are sharing these videos of this, it's obviously wrong. Like I see something, I'm like, ooh, that's terrible, but I laugh, right? There's that part of it too, which is awful. Somebody trips and falls, hurts themselves. Like people are posting this and reposting stuff, and it does make you question, I don't know, I don't want to say my own morality, but yeah, what younger kids are seeing is something that's scary too.
Very.
Like they are being, like you said, being molded. We grew up without this, so we know. But yeah, when you're scrolling and you see these things, your question of right and wrong is definitely skewed because you're like, oh yeah, that's funny, that's normal now. Oh man, let's stand up for a second. Oh yeah,
Yeah. Let's take a break.
woo. Being available, right? Like,
Well,
I
you're on
love
everyone
my
else's time.
yes, correct.
In sales, you're on everyone else's time because it's very easy to drop the ball. And I know as a realtor, if you aren't timely in answering a question or something like that, there's thousands of other realtors that someone can easily go to. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But at the same time, when you have built up a reputation and you know what your worth is, you can start saying no more often. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I've learned over the last 2 years is just you can say no.
yeah.
Like saying no is okay.
You're talking about on your end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
sure.
because it's like, okay, people have to work. People can usually only see houses on the weekends or in the afternoons or at lunchtime. And you're always on someone else's time because they have to work. And so, there's just like, okay, I actually have plans with my family. No, I cannot show properties to you Saturday morning.
Yeah.
My kid has a birthday party, got to go to the birthday party.
And that's okay.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Because people will always understand. Before when I was first starting out, I was like, I cannot say no ever to nothing. Like, I got to make money. I got to do this. But that's the quickest way to burn out ever.
So very similar. And the segue is my girlfriend is a liquor rep. She works downtown. But yeah, a bottle of liquor and that industry, like I said, we talked about continuous learning. I love learning about any industry there is. But that industry blows my mind. So logistics alone, right? Somebody puts in an order for, let's say some bar on Bourbon Street.
Bring your mic a little closer.
They, oops.
And you can turn the bottom a little bit. There you go.
Okay. Yeah. So the liquor industry blows my mind, but I've learned a lot. I like learning about it, but I like to see opportunities where they can be better. And for them on the field side, they're out there putting in orders, trying to get people to taste new products, to, bring these products into their bars, to make cocktails, whatever. But the logistics side of you put in an order and the distribution center puts this on a pallet, they put whatever, they put it in the truck, they go send it, they deliver it, they're missing a couple bottles, right? They're missing a couple bottles of something that they need, right? Some freaking Crown Royal, whatever. They're missing these bottles. She will get so flustered and upset that she'll get the call that, they were missing whatever. She'll be like, oh, well, I'll put in a same day pickup. She will drive 30 minutes out to the warehouse to go pick up 3 bottles for someone when it just blows my mind. She gets so bogged down and stressed about these little things that, are out of her control, number one. But 2, it's not an organ or a transplant that needs to be happening right now, right? You need this bottle right now. And that was just something that I've tried to influence her and impart on her.
Well, she probably has a fear that she's going to lose that account.
I don't think so. Like there's only 2 big liquor distributors in this city. And no, they're not going to lose the account. Maybe that person's going to be upset but they'll push the other
They'll
whiskey.
Get over it.
They'll push the other whiskey bottle that they have and they'll get their standard delivery next week.
Right.
But to get so flustered and burnt out, like you said, that has happened so many times where she is kind of the punching bag and she can't say, well, sorry, or think about it's something out of your control.
Right.
And how to handle those situations the right way with someone, because forget who told me this, but it's like, a fire on your end doesn't constitute a fire on my end. Like specifically with something that's so minor of an inconvenience for them. I get it. They, wrote a check and there was an extra $100 in there for these 4 bottles. But like, we'll make it up to you on the next one. Like, it's not like they're robbing you. So I see the frustration on the customer end, but then for her to deal with this kind of stress in a certain way that really just leads to burnout, like you said.
Well, she didn't do it. Wasn't her fault.
Right.
It was someone else's fault.
Yep.
Right. But she's the one that's taking the flack for it.
Yep.
And all she needs to do is just, kind of take a breath.
Yeah. And, the like I said, that point of it's not an organ that needs to be in the ER,
right.
The OR in less than 45 minutes. It's they can push a substitute product. Like, I get it. You want your products in there. You want them to push through yours. But, it's not something that I personally would drive 45 minutes out of my way to go pick up 3 bottles. And then there just has to be a better solution there. And, but yeah, no, things that are out of your control. I think that's something that we get so flustered by. And it's a tough skill to learn. But what you just said about, being able to say no to things as well. I'm like, no, I can't help you right now.
Right.
Or no, I'm busy that time. People are understanding, but you have to convey that message correctly for them to show empathy.
Right.
That makes sense,
It
right?
does. It
Yeah,
does.
what you said with, you have your daughter, you're doing something with your daughter that day.
When you're busy, you're busy.
Yeah.
Don't overstress it. Just be like, look, I'm sorry, I'm booked up. I can't do it. I'm busy. And like, when's your next availability?
That's the right alternative. Yes.
When's
That's
your
the right
next
alternative.
availability?
Yeah.
Let me know your next availability, and then we'll make it happen then.
Yep.
And then everyone's happy, everything's fine because you have a life too.
Yeah.
You have a life.
It goes back to that whole part about, being available, and how this device right here is, I'm always available.
Yeah.
And I like being available for, new customers, new clients that go live. I love that after in support of when I get the call and I'm like, hey, how do I do this? And, I'm going to talk it through them on the phone, or, I'll be there. I can come over and see you. I do love that part. Things that are out of your control. Like, let's say there's a system outage, something happens, and trying to put that fire down easily. Certain things. It's happened to me once in my time in this industry. But yeah, stuff happens in tech. But yeah, that was a nightmare. And trying to handle, I had 4 or 5 clients at the time. It was early on when I started. And it was my first time experiencing that. And Katie's was one of the ones. They were like, Scott was calling me freaking every hour, and he was like, lost $3,000. Yeah, $3,000 you owe me. And I was like he was giving it to me hard. And it was my first, he was like, what's going on? And at the time I was freaking out. I was calling everyone. I'd never dealt with this before. And there was nothing I could do. I'm not a coder. I'm not on the network server side. So eventually when it came back up in like 4 or 5 hours, I was relieved, but still that was my first time dealing with something like that. And looking back at it, I think if that were to ever happen again, I'd be better prepared to handle it. But at the time, I was brand new to the industry, brand new to, I had 3-4 new accounts.
You didn't know. You had to learn.
Exactly.
I wouldn't exactly call this a failure.
Yeah.
But, you learned from this. Right?
It was a growth experience.
Yeah.
And I, one of the persons, my colleague, I called him, and he was like, well, yeah, everyone's in the same boat right now. We're dealing with the same things.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same emotions. It's not just your customer. It's all of our customers nationwide. And that was something that kind of gave me a little relief. But back to that point of, everyone lives in their own little bubble.
Right.
Just on a broad level. And, you worry about what you can control, things you can control, and things that are outside of your control. It's definitely a skill set to be aware, but, not to self-sabotage, get beat down or beat yourself up over things that are out of your control. Because like you said, just like worrying does absolutely nothing.
And also being in the sales industry and the relationship industry, you teach people how to treat you. Like you set the tone. So when you have a conversation with somebody and, if they're messaging you at 10 p.m. at night and you respond to them, then they know that it's okay for them to text you at 10 p.m. You know what I mean? Or if they call you and they say, they're really frustrated about something, like, look, I can only see this house at 1 o'clock, but at 1, or let's say 3 o'clock, but at 3 o'clock, I got to go pick my daughter from school. It's like, sorry, like I can't do that. Because if I drop everything and come to you beckoning hand and foot every single time you call, then you feel like you can treat me that way all the time.
Absolutely. What I've done for my accounts, and they've done for me, right? I wouldn't ask anyone to do something that I would not do myself. At the restaurant that I'm helping, like I pick crap off the floor. I try to set the example. But that respect is quickly lost if you treat someone poorly, right? And even in that world, like I've heard people talk, and I hate to keep using her as an example, but yeah, I've heard accounts speak to her in a way that I'm like, I want to go over there and talk to this person.
Yeah.
Like, that's not okay that they're treating you that way.
Right.
When you go out of your way to do all these things for them.
That's right.
It is definitely...
But it's not your place to do that. Okay?
Absolutely not. No.
Not your place to do that. Because I've wanted to do that on Melissa's side too. Like I've heard phone calls for her and I want to be like, let me have the phone. And she's like, no. You know what I mean? Like it's not your place to do it. Like these people have to do it on their own.
Yeah.
You can't live in a state of fear. You can't live in a state of just a victim mentality. You can't live in a victim mentality. You have to stand up for yourself every once in a while, because even if you stood up for yourself and it terminated where you were, which from from what I know, I believe that's kind of what you did at the blood bank. You kind of stood up for yourself, and the person that came and kind of like took over was like, nah.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Okay. But to circle all the way back around, everything happens for a reason. So if you are to stand up for yourself and it is to the detriment of your job that you're currently working, like that, just because that door is closed doesn't mean that a better one isn't opening because you did that.
Yeah.
So you can't just think, woe is me, this door is closed because I did what I believed was right. You have to think of it as, okay, this door is closed. I did what I thought was right. And now let's find another open door to where I'm a happier person.
No, I agree. I think everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
I 100% believe in that. And even at the time, that everything or that thing may not be so pleasant. It might really hurt. It might, the rejection, whatever it is, XYZ, can be detrimental to your mental.
Well, no one ever sees the work. People only see the success.
Yeah, absolutely.
No one ever sees you in the trenches. People just see you sharing the glory.
Yeah. That old Michael Jordan, you didn't see how many times him in the gym or when you're working. Nobody sees you put in the work. You only see the championships, the rings, the finals.
Yeah.
No, it's true. And I think, everything happens for a reason is where we were. And if that door wasn't closed on me at that time, I would not have had the other door open. I think, when I was at the blood center and we had a new medical director come in, that's when that opportunity came about for me to move and work with the medical device company. Absolutely, that all timing was everything. I was very frustrated and unhappy with the new medical director, changes that he wanted to make. I was at that point head of quality assurance, and it was a lot of stuff on my plate and big changes that I was happy to work through and learn. But his personality was just something that kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
Well, you were making the same amount of money to have a whole lot more jobs dumped on your plate.
Yeah.
My job description is X and I'm already busy with X. And if you put Y, Z, and AA all on my plate and you're only paying me the same amount of money, like that's not going to work for me.
Yeah. But to that point too, was that experience that I got from that. Even with him, I mean, I worked with him for maybe 2-3 months. We transitioned to an electronic medical or blood bank computer system. Got all that knowledge and went through all those submissions, FDA, all that experience. But I think that made me stronger when I was poached to work for the medical device company.
Yep.
So then I got to work with all kinds of blood centers, and I had, it was an account management role, but training, implementation. And then I had all this knowledge because I came from the blood banking world that just made me that much more valuable. So I could speak to things when I was there doing training. I'd go poke around in the quality assurance department. I'd be able to chop it up with the lab director or things like that and be knowledgeable in those areas. So I think being knowledgeable in things, learning about stuff, even if it's out of your comfort zone, like all of that happened for a reason. And now, I'd love to get back into the blood banking world. But right now I'm in software, and there are some similarities in I'd say the hospitality world and blood banking, mainly in like the donor experience, right? So donors who come in and you donate blood, you get a card or you get gifts or loyalty points, similar to, you go to Starbucks or one of those and you have a customer facing display and you put in your phone number, points.
Getting close to the free coffee.
Yeah, no, it is. It's that's the one similarity that I've drawn from that. And one thing that I think we do very well is engage with our customers through the software platform I provide, and collecting data, being able to engage with people. I've learned a lot through this world, and I think it's all started from the opportunity I had at the blood bank.
Right.
Blood bank to working with blood centers around the country, and then coming back and doing hospitality software, being a little hometown hero. Coming here, I truly believe in this. In the movement of what I'm doing. And like I said, we did not have a big foothold or a market share here. Toast is one of the big boys here. Our software is very similar. But compliments to my friend who works at Toast. She's been doing this 8 years and she has something like 600, 800 accounts. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
I met her at a networking event, and she told me, she was like, my first year was so brutal. Like, it was so tough. But, she stayed the course and kept growing for them here. And now, she is, she's tough, and I've lost a couple deals to her because of not having that credibility.
Yeah.
But now it's starting to go the other way. I just won a deal against her. So
Nice.
I was really excited about that.
Yeah, I got a couple rival realtors who I'm friends with, but at the same time, when I found out that they got a listing that I interviewed for, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It hurts a little bit more.
Sure.
Because they're your biggest competition. You know what I mean? But hey, comparison's the thief of joy, man. Just move on to the next one.
I agree. There's other opportunities. Timing's everything. And like you said, that those doors open when one door closes.
Yep, for sure.
Man, my biggest hurdle in life that I've had to overcome. Yikes. That's a great question.
You can be vulnerable in this podcast.
Yeah, no. I'm not trying to be vulnerable. I mean, obviously, about, my father. But no, I think one of the hardest things to overcome, I'd say I was very fortunate that I overcame it sooner rather than later, was being comfortable in your own skin, right? I think a lot of people are very hesitant to be themselves and have to put on some kind of facade and not very genuine, whether it's professionally or personally. And
people can smell that a mile away today.
Yeah, no. And like I said, you see all these things on scrolling Instagram and all this. You see these people and what they want you to see. You don't really see the genuine person behind the camera or the capture.
You see the pleasure, you don't see the pain.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think being comfortable in your own skin is something so important that I got at an early age, compliments of my family and, just being who we are and, having a sense of humor from my mother's side, the intellect and knowledge from my father. I had the best of both worlds, and growing up being social, and it's okay to be yourself and be different. And I think a lot of people struggle with that today. Everyone wants to be like what they see on the internet.
Influencer, role model, or everyone looks up to someone else and tries to replicate instead of, like you said, being comfortable with who you are.
Yeah, your own path. There's only one you. And that's something that, is very important. I think everyone wants to make a mark and contribute or be remembered for something, whatever it is. And I think I've been very fortunate to impact a lot of people. And just by engaging with people back where we came from, just, saying hi to someone, engaging with someone, breaking the ice.
Well, a lot of entrepreneurial mindset is like, what is my legacy going to be? Like, what legacy am I going to leave when I die that will remain
what will I be remembered
with reality?
For?
Right?
Yeah.
What will I be remembered for? And I think that a good shift in that, instead of saying, what will I be remembered for, is just to live a good, helping, caring life. And when you live a good, helping, caring life, you reach other people and you come through to them and you could impact their lives so much, but like no one will ever know about that. But I think you will, that person will. And that's what the big man upstairs is going to see at the end of the day. And you don't need to be acknowledged or appreciated or awarded or whatever for what you're doing. As long as you live that type of life, you're going to go to great places.
100%. And I definitely live that too. I can't stand, I'm very private, social media, all that stuff. I don't post.
No, you don't.
I really don't. No. And maybe I should. I'd like to possibly do one for the business side to grow that side. We can talk about that outside here. But no, the privacy has always been so important to me. And I don't paste what I'm eating or, something I did today that was great that helped someone. Those kind of things. I'm not in it for the likes or the comments or the shares. I do it because I'm not going out of my way just to make somebody feel good or to do something for someone. I think.
Well, you're also not forced into the social media aspect of it to where you have to promote and market that way either.
Which is a blessing.
Yeah, I've gone back and forth on it, and I know it's part of your world as well. And I've thought about doing it for Pelican POS, is creating a brand and kind of highlighting some of my customers, that kind of stuff to get engagement. It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
And it's something that I just don't want to go down that path. Personally, professionally is another story. For the business to grow that, 100% see the value. But personally, I love my privacy. I don't like posting stuff. I don't want people knowing that I was over here today or I was doing this or, but inside of my day is definitely, I go out of my way to help people when I can, for sure. I mean, it takes, if it's something so simple as opening a door for someone,
right?
Anything like that, I think, I don't feel the need to capture it and post it online, right? For And I think that's the biggest difference in our society today is everyone wants to post and, oh God.
You can lead a good life without everybody else knowing.
Yes. Yes. You can be a good person and karma. Like that's what we're saying. Like that, what you put out into the world, you get back tenfold. And I think that's what, my morals, my beliefs are 100% founded on too, is, if I want to do good unto others and I think in turn it'll pay off in the long run.
Right. I will tell you this about social media. It is a very good feeling when, you go out and there's a gathering or you go out and people will be like, oh, I saw that video and like, that was very interesting. And like, it actually creates a conversation. It's like, okay, people are watching what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like not all being done in vain because yes, it is a ton of work to get your social media going, to actually have something that captures someone's attention in this 3-second world. It's very challenging.
3-second world. No, yeah. And it's, and you do a great job with a lot of your posts. I frequent your story every now and then. And when I do it, it's just, it's not just, it's never really you posting personal stuff or photos. It's you sharing different articles or things that you can read or, whether it's space, tech, something going on. I do like that part of it. But man, there's just so many people. I walk around, I'll go to the store and somebody's doing a dance in the frozen food aisle. I was like, what the hell is going on? It really does blow my mind. Like that is a thing. And people watch that. Like people are just 3 seconds.
I love those videos of like you have like the B celebs that are like looking like weird, but then like they have the clip together all the weird stuff that people are doing, like construction work being done weird, but it's like the person wearing the hard hat who's like looking at him weird, and then he'll look over here, and then it's another video of somebody like throwing a shovel of like concrete up or something like that, and they have the ones of like the TikTok dances where you're in the grocery and you look over and you see that, or someone's doing it in the car wash, or people are just doing it for likes, and for now that all that stuff is monetized, everybody's trying to get the next viral video to go so that they can make some pocket change when it comes to that. But I think that's why YouTube is so important, because YouTube itself is a search engine just like Google. So people go to YouTube to sit there and research because they're ready to sit down and watch something longer than your little 3-second clip. Someone has to see 9 videos before they create a relationship with you on Instagram, as opposed to just watching one video on YouTube before they trust you as a person because of what you're saying.
Yeah.
So if you think about your social media from that aspect of it, when you take something and you put it on YouTube, and then you can take those and chop it up and then share smaller things on Instagram, it's easier for people to really get across your message to people that way. Yep. And that's why I'm doing it this way.
Honestly, it's great content. Like I said, I was hesitant. I mean, obviously you and I are close friends, but when I saw what you did with Nate and his interview, I was like, oh man, that was awesome. And I pulled up, I went to the YouTube video first, and then I guess I saw the clip this morning before I was heading out the door.
Yeah.
But like you said, YouTube 100% was the early on. I would go, I wanted to learn something, I would freaking YouTube it.
Yeah.
And then I would watch a video.
All the DIYs, right? All that stuff. Like, hey, how do I hang this swing from my ceiling? Or how do I, XYZ?
I changed an engine splash guard on my 2016 BMW through YouTube.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Good
splash
for
guard.
you,
Yeah,
man. Good for you.
Yeah, I got a quote and it was like $400 for somebody else to do it. And then I just looked it up and then I ordered the right part and freaking had to jack the car up and rip the old one off and screw a couple in. I was like, dang, $400? It's not bad.
Nope.
Got it done for $50.
Yeah, love that.
$50 in an hour.
Love that. Why don't you tell the people where they can find you, where, if there's any restaurateurs out here that are like, oh, my system sucks ass. I need some better ones.
Man.
Yeah, tell the people. I'm going to put it up on the screen. So tell the people where they can find you.
Not selling you anything. How can I help has always been my my motto. But Spot On is who I rep through the company Pelican POS. So we're the local guys here. You call, we do support. It's not just a phone number. Spot On, big company, very similar to Toast. But yeah, they have their customer number that you can call and talk to a real person anytime.
Do they have social media accounts?
Spot On does, yeah. But for me, I'm Ryan at pelicanpos.com. You can email me. I'm on the webs or, like we said, the Facebook, social media, Instagram, I think we're going to try and build, putting a professional business page for Pelican POS. Now that we have something like 20, 25 accounts now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's myself, my guy Michael. We have an awesome menu programmer. We have two other people on our team. And then Spot On Corporate is the one who, that's who we're promoting. So Spot On is the software. Pelican POS is my local company here that we work, that we provide our own customer support. We do installs, implementation. I get it, change is hard, but a discussion is really what I'm looking for. Like I said, it is such a crazy industry, and the people that are in it are the backbone of this community.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been really cool to learn an industry like restaurants, because I never served before.
Well, here in New Orleans, the restaurants are everything. Like, we are known for our food. So,
Yeah.
and it's very challenging from talking with Scott for anyone to open a restaurant in this city.
Yeah.
It's so saturated.
And you see a lot of them that come and go. They're very quick.
Big
Just
time.
you come up and you think you can just
If
make
you
it.
don't have a good business plan, you are done before you start.
Yeah. And a lot of that goes into how you do your online ordering, how you do reservations. Are you collecting customer data? Are you engaging with your customers? Are you creating experiences for them? And that's something that I'm really passionate about now. Like I said, I'll always be repping Pelican POS and Spot On here in New Orleans and growing that movement. But it's because a lot of people have thought there's only one name in town, and it was Toast for the longest time. And I am not bad mouthing Toast. I don't walk into anybody's restaurant and bad mouth their baby. But there's other options out there that
As you shouldn't, because that would tell a lot about a person if they come in and immediately start negatively talking about something else.
If you had a magic wand, what would you change about your POS? That's one of the questions I like to ask. But yeah, no, I'm the guy. I like being the hometown hero. After being in this industry for a little over 2.5 years now, I love walking in somewhere and they know me.
Yeah.
Like, especially restaurants that are my accounts, because like I said, I don't post a lot on social media, but I will reshare my accounts when they're doing events. I will double tap like any content that they put out. I love sharing that word of mouth. Like, I tell people, one of my favorite new spots is Lost Coyote.
Mm-hmm.
Lost Coyote out on Esplanade. They have dinner. It used to be JoJo's. It was a Mexican restaurant, but they have a pool in the back, and it's open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. But they have small bites for the pool, but also inside they have lunch, dinner. Food's phenomenal. The team over there is incredible.
Lost Coyotes has a pool in the back?
Yes, they have a pool. Also, they have a goat named Rosita, who's their mascot. They have a pin. It came with the property when they bought it.
That's hysterical.
But I have mentioned and name dropped Lost Coyote to so many people, and they're like, "Oh, I've never heard of it." And they've been crushing it now on social media,
Good.
Instagram. Highly recommend anybody goes and sees Lost Coyote.
You know me, I'm all about going to chill at a pool.
It is a great pool.
Oh yeah.
We'll go to Lost Coyote soon.
Yeah, we need to, because I've gone to a bunch of places that you've set up accounts with. What was that Mexican restaurant?
La Patrona?
Yeah.
La Patrona.
How's it going? Fury's.
Katie's. Central City Barbecue is also ours. Las Cruces. I have a couple on the North Shore. But still, there are so many opportunities in this with this particular role that I have. And I love just meeting new people.
Well, it seems like you're passionate about it.
I am.
And if you're passionate about it and you enjoy it, then like that's going to shine through and that's going to make you more successful.
Yeah, that's the difference. And I love getting those calls. Like I said, I hate being available, but when one of my accounts or clients hits me up and says, "Hey, how can we do this? We're having this issue." I like getting those calls. I love helping them, and then thank you so much.
Yeah.
Like, I really appreciate it, because it's tech, man. Inevitably, things go wrong, or a new server does something, whatever.
Right.
I love that aspect of this job, is I get to interact with people. It's not a 9 to 5. I'm not sitting at a desk. I love going to sit at one of my accounts, or go sit at, the bar and get on my computer and chat with them and see how business is going, things like that. And like I said, we started with, I believe you can learn something from anyone. And whether it's blood, whether it's medical device, but now hospitality, it was just such a real eye-opener, because I'd never served. Like, I'd been to restaurants, obviously as a consumer or a patron, but seeing behind the scenes how hard some of these people work, and just in the kitchen, the stuff that happens in the kitchen, the front of house.
I think it should be required for every human in the United States of America to wait tables at some point.
I agree. And I say it all the time. It's humility. It's humbling. But specifically those people, obviously, they're captured on.
You learn how to solve problems. You learn how to memorize like menus and compartmentalize. You learn how to read people. You learn how to save steps. Like, there's so many things that you can learn that's good for life from serving tables.
Absolutely. And honestly, just being humble and not being a jerk is one of the biggest things. Like, things happen in the kitchen, and you see those videos all the time of somebody freaking out about poor 17-year-old waitress who's, taking, being yelled at by some adult. And like that stuff just blows my mind. But yeah, there's people like that. And I agree with what you said. I think everyone should have to serve tables, bartend. So the hardest part about hospitality is dealing with people and then the POS.
That's it.
That in my world, it's learning the POS and dealing with people. And I love people, but yeah, there are some people just suck, man.
That's true.
I hate to stop on that note, but some people are just terrible. And all you can do is, like you said, compartmentalize and just be you, be yourself, try and be a good person every
Never
day.
Stop learning, fail forward, get 1% better. That's been a theme. All right. Well, I guess I'll see you Friday for our Squires of the Shattered Lance.
Squires of the Shattered Lance. I can't wait.
Yeah, we have a debate club that we have officially started. It is kind of a debate club. It's we're the master debaters over here.
We are.
But I like to hear other people's opinions rather than just sitting in my own bubble. I want to hear what somebody else has to say. I want to hear how they view certain subjects. I want them to try to explain it to me so that I can understand where they're coming from rather than just have some, this person thinks this way, I have this opinion of them because they think this way. Like that is bullshit. And that is not how this country was founded. I think that healthy debate is what got this country to where it is. And you should be able to talk to someone, have a difference of opinion, still respect them and not have any kind of beef with them because of that reason. And so that's what ignited this whole club. I really wanted my closest friends to get together and just have these discussions so that we can understand each other better, but, just really see someone else's point of view.
I loved it, man. And honestly, the format we had, and this is lifelong friends of ours that have all been together, come from different places, but still, like we went through and how it was set up. It was so perfect just to hear people. Everyone got their time. It was fun. It was nothing crazy, but I would recommend this kind of get together, for more people.
Yeah, 100%.
Because like you said, you see so much stuff and you only read, but actually getting together in person and discussing things and certain topics.
And everyone's algorithm on your phone is different. So people are getting what they think and what they believe on their algorithm that's going to fuel their own beliefs, just like you and me.
Yeah.
So, someone who's removing themselves from that bubble and getting in front of someone else that has a difference of opinion only makes your brain stronger.
Yeah.
Only makes your mindset better.
But it's so important too, like you said, because there are people who bitch about, living here in America and, go live somewhere else where freedom of speech or you can't have these debates because you have to think this way. And if you say something that goes against that thought, you could be murdered.
In the UK, in the UK now, I think they've arrested 2,500 people for like saying something online that the government didn't agree with. They're arresting people. Like there is no freedom of speech in the UK now. You know what I mean? Like, and unfortunately now people are being killed for how they believe and what they say. But at the same time, like that's goes back to where there's people who don't understand the line between good and evil and right and wrong anymore.
Yeah.
So anyway, thanks so much for coming, man. I appreciate you very much.
Thanks for having me.
You got it. All right.
See you soon.
See you Friday.